Welcome to the deep dive of Dvar Malchus, the Rebbe's Parsha Talks of the years 1991 and 1992, Tafshin Aleph and Tafshin Beis. My name is Hannah Margulies, and I'm so honored and grateful for this opportunity to dive into these texts together. This is part of the GeulaWives podcast. GeulaWives is all about living Geula in our marriages, revealing and tapping into and receiving the beauty, connection, peace, and joy, purpose that is possible in all of our marriages, living the marriages of our dreams and truly experiencing Geula. This specific series is focused on the Geula part of GeulaWives, as we really live with ideas of Mashiach and really live with these powerful concepts of what Geula is. In the Rebbe's words, it allows us as the Keres Habayis, as the mainstay of our home, to infuse our homes with the energy of Geula. And of course, that energy of Geula, that is the energy of Shalom Bayis, the energy of true and complete peace. So the merit of learning these talks, we should be able to have true Shalom Bayis within ourselves, our minds, and our heart, within us and our husbands, within us and our homes, and the ultimate home for God in this world. That is the true Shalom Bayis. Thank you for joining, and let's dive in. In this week's Parsha, Parshas Vayishlach, we are diving into the messianic reality of the two great luminaries. In the beginning of creation, the moon was asked to diminish herself, to diminish her light, and therefore she only has the light of the sun. We know that in the days of Mashiach, the sun and the moon both shine bright, once again as the two great luminaries. Now, how does this process unfold? Is that as the moon gets closer to the sun, what it's actually doing is getting closer to its source, which is the source of where both the sun and the moon get their light, and therefore they're equalized. They're both connecting to the same source of light, which of course is Hashem. So in our Jewish life, we are constantly living with the moon. The Jewish people are even called the moon. And so what is happening in the first half of the month? The moon is waxing, right? It is growing, and each day, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger until you have the full light of a new moon, which is a time, of course, of revelation. And then the moon starts to wane and get smaller and smaller. What's really happening is that it's actually going closer to the sun. It's actually going closer to its source of light. And of course, the sun is not the source of the moon's light because the sun has its own source of light. And so as the moon gets closer to the sun, what's really happening is that it's getting closer to its essential light, its source of light, which is beyond revelation or concealment. It's the source. And so this is reflected in the second half of the Jewish month. Normally we think of the first half as the happier half of the month because we're on the rise, we're on the up. We're getting bigger and brighter every single day, living with the moon. And then after the full moon, it almost feels like a letdown. Now we're getting smaller and more diminished each day. But actually we're not. We are just getting closer and closer to the essence until the point where there's no moon. And we're just in this essential state of source. This is reflected in the fact that after the 15th, we don't count the next day as 14, 13, 12. We don't start descending. No, we actually keep increasing. We go from 15 to 16 to 17. So as people who live with the moon, this is a natural way of showing us that it's actually just getting to an even higher place because we're never descending in holiness. We're only rising in holiness. So this incredible reality of the two great luminaries is really the reflection of Hashem and the Jewish people, right? Hashem is like connected to the sun, Havaya, Hashem's infinite revelation, and the moon, the little Jewish people. And the idea that Hashem does not just want to be the giver of light to us. He actually wants us to be his queen, to be his wife, to be his kala. And so the hierarchy in exile is that the sun gives the light to the moon. And the moon does not have any light of her own. This is also the exile of the feminine, not having her own light, but only receiving from the masculine. But in the Geula state, both the sun and the moon are connected and both able to shine their light bright. Not in a way of competition, of course, because that was the original problem why the moon had to be diminished, but in a way of like true essential glory. And so this is the idea of Hashem wanting us to step out of a relationship where we are just receiving his light, but actually to step into the marriage of being one with him, beyond even the level of giver and receiver, and in that place of oneness that transcends both giver and receiver, in that place of oneness that's even beyond feminine and masculine, higher, lower, up, down, body, soul, getting beyond any levels, no matter how holy and high they are, and getting to that essential oneness that sparked all of creation. The initial delight of just being completely one, us and Hashem. And this is also reflected in our parsha between Esav and Yaakov. Esav reflecting the world of tohu, chaos, and Yaakov, tikkun. And that's why Yaakov sent angels before him, aka before his spiritual source, to Esav, tohu. And Yaakov is very much trying to have this messianic reality where Esav and Yaakov are going to be these two great luminaries, where tohu and tikkun, these two different spiritual realities, can actually have like this great peace. And this peace is part of this Mashiach process. So this week, we're stepping beyond levels. We're stepping beyond anything other than our most essential true self. And no matter how high a level is, we're going beyond that and going to essence, because we know that Hashem wants an essence-to-essence relationship. And even when it seems like we're on the decline, we're getting lower, remember the numbers are still counting. And that is counting higher. And that leads us to Hanukkah. Hanukkah is a holiday. It does not fall on the 15th of the month, even though so many holidays do. This time of revelation, it falls in the second half of the month, the 25th, and the time of diminishing. But really, this shows us that every single day we're still adding in light, 1 Hanukkah candle, 2 Hanukkah candles. And so even those moments that we feel like we're being diminished, it's really a time of great spiritual light to increase in the light. And know they're always just getting closer and closer to our true essence. To learn more about how GeulaWives can be part of your life and support you to live the marriage of your dreams, visit GeulaWives.org, consider joining the GeulaWives Circle for full support, or step into the light of breakthrough coaching. Looking forward to you experiencing your personal Geula and spreading that light to the entire world.